views and opinions expressed do not necessarily represent those of Access Fort Wayne, or the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting organization. If you're interested in producing a program, come talk to us here at Access Fort Wayne. We are a department of the Allen County Public Library. Call us at 421 1250.
Beep bop beep doo biddy bee da ba bye. Da baby doo biddy bee da ba bye. Da baby doo biddy bee da ba bye. Dee bee da bee doo bee da bee da. Da.
Thank you. I'm Kelsey, and this is Cote, and together we are Kelsicote. We are a musical group out of Santiago de Chile, and I was born and raised here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and we're very happy to be here. Thank you, Terry. Thank you to everyone. We're starting out with the first song, Mano a Mano, which means in English, hand in hand. Caminando mano a mano, esperando tu llegar. Cuando vuelvas a enseñarnos cómo amarnos de verdad. Sube, baja el sol al amanecer. Sube, baja el sol al atardecer. Walking on, arm in arm, the trip is on, it won't be long. Thinking on, praying on, working on your precious song. Rise to meet the sun at the break of dawn, down to bed, rain, nighttime falls again. La la la, lay da da da, la da 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 da. Rise to meet the sun. Thank you. Gracias. The next song we're going to share is called La vida que traigo puesta. We've tried to think about a good translation for this one, and the best thing I can come up with is the life I am wearing. Do you want to say anything else about La vida que traigo puesta?
This song talk about when you wake up in a dream. That in Spanish is sueño.
pero por un agujero lo que pensaba se olvidó. Y ahora me da una sorpresa que cuando despierte seré yo. Y ahora me da una sorpresa que cuando despierte seré yo. Almacita linda, tírame para arriba, donde todo fluye mejor. Límpiame la pena, llévame al ensueño, donde se transmuta el dolor.
Donde se transmuta el dolor. Amor, dolor, amor,
Thanks. Right.
Come on over and we'll jam a bit. It's wonderful. Thank you, Kelsey.
Thank you, Terry. It was wonderful to be able to play.
Terrific.
Thank you.
Thank you. See. So how did you guys get started with music? Kelsey, I didn't even know you were interested in music, and all of a sudden now you're an international star. It's amazing.
I don't know if we're internationals.
I mean, I remember I did a show here celebrating my show Theater for Ideas, and you and your mom were here, and you danced. Remember the drummers and everybody was dancing, and also Kelsey was in my movie that I'm going to edit here in a few months, finally, called Poison in My Town. So she's an actress as well. You
forgot
probably
about
didn't even know that, and
Long time
maybe
ago.
she doesn't want to admit it. But anyway, it's out now. So anyway, she and her mother have been fantastic friends to me for a long time, and I'm so proud of you, really. I feel like I've known her so long, since she was about 9 years old. So I feel like her accomplishments, she grew up sort of right before my eyes, you know, and has done all these adventures. But how did you get started in singing? I mean, I know that you're called a nutrition expert, and you do workshops on that. You speak Greek. You lived in Greece. You live in Chile now, so you speak Spanish and English. So now you've added singing to your resume. Impressive resume.
Well, I'm glad you see it like that. I've
Yeah.
dabbled in a lot of things, and yeah. The other point of view is that I could be more focused and dedicate my life to, for instance, lawyering or whatever.
I was going to talk to you about that, young lady. Really, where's your focus in life? You know, going around playing music. Well, you're studying international law, right?
I got an LLM. I finished a master's in law, and I was in Holland, and then I finished in Chile, and I met Cote there. We met in an open microphone, which is an initiative that he does there in Santiago, which is a really neat initiative. You'll have to ask him about it when it's his turn.
Okay, well, let's ask him now. What is open mic, and how long ago was that about that you guys met?
Open mic is an experience when you meet people with your interests, artist interests. So it's a nice place to meet good people and learn music and play your songs.
And you met Kelsey there.
Yeah.
So you got everything in the bargain. A partner in every sense of the word, a musical partner, romantic partner, everything.
Yeah, but when I know Kelsey, I don't know she sing.
Oh,
That's right. I went as I was studying. I was taking law classes, 5 law classes in Spanish, and calling my mom and like, I don't think I'm gonna pass this. I don't understand anything.
Oh.
And I wanted to go out and enjoy some of the culture and the music and see what Chile was really about. And so I decided to go out and be an observer in one of these open microphones, which essentially, like Cote said, is an open space. It can be a bar, it could be a restaurant, it could be a plaza. They do it in many different areas. And anybody can come and express freely an opinion, a political idea, a cry, a poem, a song. So it was really neat, and I was sort of escaping from my role as a law student, and that's where we met.
so
At one
open
of
mic
those.
there is not necessarily just poetry or music. You can
Free
tell a
expression.
story or
Yeah.
okay, free
Yeah.
expression. Is that how it differs from US of A? When I think of open mic here, I think more of a either poetry or music.
Yeah, it could be a difference then, because it's more amplified the definition or what's accepted. Usually, it tends to be an artistic.
But you were just
expression.
there to observe. So
Just to
how'd you
listen.
meet
Yeah.
then? He was the MC, like?
No,
Oh.
no,
No?
in this moment, no. But it's a social experience. So the people is no
Formal?
unos a otros,
Hmm?
unos a otros.
Okay.
Se conocen.
Yeah, it's a social networking. You end up great musicians end up meeting each other. People who have similar ideas about a social movement or an idea, or just become good friends for life. Or it's a really neat place to meet and network and build.
So how long ago
connections.
was that? About a year, 2 years? Approximately?
6 years.
Oh, 6 years.
6
okay.
years, yeah.
So
Wait.
how long have you lived there now?
3 years ago we met.
3
we
years.
met, sorry, the open mic movement.
Oh, the open mic movement
Si-
started about
yeah,
6 years
6
ago.
years, yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. So were you singing at all at that point? Or did you start singing
really.
because he inspired you?
When I was a kid at Churubusco High School, I was pretty musical. I was from little. My brother sings, my mom sings, my dad and mom always with the Police or the Eagles, or my grandma sings gospel and listens to gospel, and my grandfather likes classic. I always had a musical atmosphere. And then I was in show choir in high school, this typical Midwest show choir,
Yeah.
competition choir that travels around, completely different because, you sing and dance and you have different costumes and stuff. And it's funny because I think back and I had no fear about being on stage or anything. I was with a troupe also, but then there was a time in my life where I didn't have I wasn't involved in music. I just was really focused academically. But when I got to Chile, I did buy myself a little guitar and I started to learn some songs of some very, to me, interesting authors and singer-songwriters, mainly about the big questions of life, the way we organize our society, and meaningful and beautiful songs. But I wasn't singing. I was just doing my own little, very transitional time in my life. I had my head shaved, actually, at that time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I had my
We
head
need a
shaved.
picture. You have a picture?
I don't know, I'm sure somewhere around there.
In the CD is a picture Kelsey short hair.
Oh yeah, I was
Ah.
growing out in our CD. There's
I remember short hair, but I don't remember a shaved head.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you also played basketball. I lived in Garrett for a while, and I saw her play basketball against Garrett one night.
Yep, I was
Yeah,
involved in sports.
Kelsey. Wow. So then you went to Butler from Churubusco,
Mhm.
and we met when I was doing the documentary on the big turtle in Churubusco, which so far is the most famous claim to fame. But hey, it might be you might take over Oscar one of these days. Who knows? What's your goal in playing music? You have a very unique goal, I think. You talked about the joy in an interview in the Journal Gazette that music gives you, and you want to share that with people. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Why do you make music? Why do
Yeah.
we make music?
It's a necessity, it's a language. Just like you need to express yourself with Spanish or English, the music is the same. I think more deep because the music is a universal language, and when you listen music, um, you feeling very deep what the person transmit you when somebody play music, and the same happen when you play music. It's a state in your life you want to transmit it that state for another person, and I really I don't know why, but I
Yeah,
have
that's a beautiful answer.
yeah.
It's the universal language, like we talked about before we started taping. That you had said you have songs in English and Spanish and Greek. I said, doesn't matter. It's a universal language. You don't really. I mean, it's good to understand lyrics, and sometimes lyrics are powerful and meaningful. But to get the feeling, you really don't have to, because it moves people. And I think
Yeah.
that's what you guys are trying to do. And do you see yourself in a way as different from? There's so many musicians. How do you think you're different? Obviously, you have a cultural background with the different languages, which is fantastic. But in other ways, I think you said you're trying to change things with your music. And I said, change things? We don't
Yeah.
need any change here.
Yeah, when it's very nice because we our schools is very not traditional. I'm learned to asking a people he play guitar or play instrument, how you play that, or a lot of intuition. And Kelsey don't have formal studios for music too. So our music is very organic. It's very we don't have when compose some songs. We don't have too much information, harmonics or that is coming after the compositions happen. So some songs talk about the how you compose a song.
I think we are good.
And when did you actually start playing with Cote? After you met him in this coffee or the open mic night, when did the music start together?
The
Was it
music
kinda-
started, I think, that week in the apartment I was living in. We started to. He started to share some of the songs that he had of his own with me, and I would listen to them and try to figure out if I could understand the lyrics and to see who this guy was and what his thoughts were and what, you know. There it is.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Anyway, I'll just use this mic. So that's how it started,
So that's how
And-
it started,
and
and
you got braver and took your guitar. And
I liked his
started-
ideas. I liked what he was singing about. I liked that, like he said, he has a beautiful walk in life with it, which is not necessarily the certified institutional academy of the doctor classical music. He sought out his maestros or the people that he wanted to learn from, and he went directly to them or asked them or would listen to their music and play. And also a lot of his music sprouts from his own being. It's organic and it's just in the moment, songs about life. And I liked all that. I found it very sincere. So I think my answer to the big question, why do we do this? I could have so many answers. It could be so many. There's so many reasons to sing, so many reasons to do that. A lot of change that can take place through singing and songwriting. And I think as human beings, songs can also help us to stay grateful every day. Depending on how we compose these songs and what the lyrics are, they can almost be like reminders to ourselves. And I like to do that in my compositions, for instance.
So do you write together or you write individually or both?
Both.
Both.
Okay.
He has, before I met him, he had many 50 some compositions of his own. And I also had a few of my own as well that still haven't really, that are still sort of under the rug. We have to figure out if those will be part. But together we've composed together as well. For instance, in one song in Chile that we composed together, is the hum. It will be on our second disc. It's not on the first one that we gave you. El murmullo is the hum. And we were in sort of a natural nature area, and a train passed by. And I don't know how or what happened, but the next thing I know, I'm over with some herbs and some little plants that are growing, looking at them, and I'm singing this hum.
Because the train sound.
And Cote comes over and he says, "What are you singing? ¿Qué estás cantando?" And I don't even realize I'm singing something. I don't know. Yeah, let me hear it. What were you just singing? Just tell me.
Because it's beautiful.
I said, I don't remember. I was just something. I don't know. And I tell him, he says, "I think you heard that. Is that from the train sound that you just heard?" And I said, "I don't know." So he says, "I think it is." And we have this conversation about where it came from.
Oh, wow.
And then this whole song sprouts from this experience of where do songs come from? We so often, as singer-songwriters, like to say it's our song and don't make all these copyright laws. But where do the songs come from? Is it a creation? Is it an imitation? Is it yours? Was it sent to you from your God or some divine? All these questions. And so that's, for instance, one song. He put the musical arrangements.
Well, you guys are doing great. I mean, you've got, she mentioned St. Francis, I think you performed. That's a college here in Fort Wayne. And you're going to be performing at Reinhardt at IPFW, which is a beautiful musical venue. And you're going to IU and Butler, where you went to college. Where else? Other places? Ball State?
Just those four. St.
four?
Francis,
Well, that's a
IU,
lot.
IPFW, and Butler. And we have a new sprout up impromptu concert at Calhoun Soups on Calhoun
yeah.
Soups and Sweets on Friday, this January 15th. We're gonna be fusing with musicians from local Fort Wayne that we've met since we've been here, like Phil Sugar, who's a professor at St. Francis, and also who's a jazz composer.
Yeah.
Several other guys that
Yeah,
we've
we
met.
did a similar concert there about a year ago. You know, my brother died, and he was a singer-songwriter. And we had about 10 local musicians covered his songs,
Wow.
and it was just beautiful.
Right on.
Nice.
And it's such a great place. It's old and got such character to
Mm.
it, and you know, combining your music and philosophy with the music of others, fantastic.
Yeah.
We're
Really,
excited.
you guys are just you're doing great, as I said, to get all this attention, which you deserve, and your music is different because you sing. You know, we said it's a universal language, but you sing in so many different languages. And so fluently and so well. You know, in wrapping this up, I want to comment on something you said in your interview about, I think you were talking about music and how you're no longer a man, a woman, a person from Chile or a person from America. We all have the same joys, the same sorrows. And I'm working on like a celebration of our common humanity. I think we're at a time when people identify themselves as American, as Muslims, as Christians. There's something more. We're human beings first,
Yeah.
everybody, regardless of where you're from or anyway. I love that comment. I really, really do. Is there anything else you'd like to add in closing? You're going to do some more songs for us, right?
We'll do one more, or two more
Okay.
if you want. But I did want to add one thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That I think you're referring to the quote that was taken out and put in for our interview in the Journal Gazette.
Yeah.
There, and
Yeah, we'll have it on the opening. But
I
exactly
remember
you
what I said, and I remember reading that quote too. After you say all these things, and that quote said something like, when you travel, not necessarily just physically, but any type of traveling, when you do things like this, you go about losing your identity in a way, because you're no longer just American, you're no longer just a female or a male or all these categories that we put ourselves into. And I thought to myself, I would add one more thing to that quote, that you also go about finding a truer identity, not just losing all these identities, but finding an
Yes.
identity that is exactly what you just said, that we are all human, that we have more in common than we have all these little differences. The essence of us is all the same.
You just added eloquently to an already eloquent statement. So, what are there any significance in your What's on the table here?
That is a trompe. It's a indigenous instrument for the people Mapuche in Chile. It's a love instrument.
Can you play a little?
Yeah.
Cote is a super special
So
mouth harp trompe
Oh.
specialist.
when it's bad love, you play for outside, and when it's good love, you play inside. But you can play too.
Oh, right. I like that. Excellent.
It's very special because in all the countries, it's a similar instrument. In Brazil, it's a berimbau, but it's more long, no? And play just like that. In Australia, it's
The didgeridoo.
didgeridoo.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
different.
Like that great big.
Yeah, it's good, but it's different. But the sound is very similar, and I remember the sound of the stars.
Mhm.
But here in the air,
Do you have musical training? I didn't quite. I mean, have you gone to musical school classes, etc., or are you pretty much self-taught like Kelsey? Right, you're self-taught.
Mhm,
Okay.
Si eres autodidacta
Yeah.
o si,
yeah.
o si tienes entrenamiento formal.
How you say autodidacta in English?
Self-taught.
Self-taught. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is. I think yes, but you never learn alone. You
Mm.
always need
Mm.
another person, and that is my way. I learn music. Talk about music for another person or play music in an open mic. It's a lot of good musicians, so you play with other music. It's school too, and I'm very good to ask the people.
He's,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
good for asking questions.
Yeah.
So just go right up to you and say, no, that was
Good.
in B minor and this was in A.
Yeah.
You're not the typical male that won't ask for directions. In other words, yeah, that's good. I mean, that's how we learn from each other. It gets back to what Kelsey was saying. We find a new identity through discovering other people. We help to discover ourselves, and that's what I think art especially does for people, be it music or writing or filmmaking, anything that sort of takes you out of your world and then puts you back in a different way. And what are these three little fellows?
This one's a maraca. Very typical in Chilean music. And this, you want to explain that one?
Okay, susurradoras. How you say?
Susurradora.
Susurro, whisper,
Whisper.
whisper. So it's a.
Oh, thank you. I think they're telling me we're out of time. You're spared any
If
more
this
agony
means
of
wrap it up,
talking.
we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah. About 5 minutes ago, you
Very
said
good.
wrap it up. So, you're gonna play a couple more songs for us?
Yeah, sure.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Dio morfizo iedo ego que si da fila ya da no fa omokse ume hoti da erthuni discoli eris dizo I cardiamu si me hisu me masi siga Ven mas niazune ute sine fies Oranos mas regio I dies Ragutis ume
Lazo. Murmullo. Let's sing one together. The incidents of life in life of life. The incidents of life reflect in our innermost being.
Beep bop beep doo biddy bee da ba bye. Da baby doo biddy bee da ba bye. Da baby doo biddy bee da ba bye. Dee bee da bee doo bee da bee da. Da baby doo biddy bee da ba bye. Da baby doo biddy bee da ba bye. Da baby doo biddy bee da ba bye. Dee bee da bee doo bee da bee da.
Los sucesos en la vida, de la vida y en la vida. Los sucesos en la vida reflejan el ser interior. Los sucesos en la vida, de la vida y en la vida. Los sucesos en la vida reflejan el ser interior. Estoy aquí,
Estoy acá
en todos lados estoy, en los mensajes que vengo.
los mensajes que voy.
Estoy aquí,
Estoy acá
en todos lados estoy, también donde tú estás. Estás aquí,
Estás allá
en todos lados estás, en los mensajes que llegan.
los mensajes que van.
Estás aquí,
Estás allá
en todos lados estás, también donde yo estoy. Los sucesos en la vida, de la vida y en la vida. Los sucesos en la vida reflejan el ser interior. Los sucesos en la vida, de la vida y en la vida. Los sucesos en la vida reflejan el ser interior. Honro, bendigo y agradezco todo lo que busco.
todo lo que encuentro.
Honro, bendigo y agradezco todo lo que hay en mí.
Honra, bendice y agradece
Todo lo que busqué.
todo lo que encuentres.
Honra, bendice y agradece todo lo que hay en ti.
Sigo esperando los del alma
Que me habla en el silencio para que
pueda llover. Sigo esperando los del alma
Que me habla, me invita, me quiere conocer.
Sigo esperando los del alma
Que me habla en el silencio para que
pueda llover. Sigo esperando los del alma
Que me habla, me invita, me quiere conocer. Los sucesos en la vida, de la vida y en la vida. Los sucesos en la vida reflejan el ser interior. Los sucesos en la vida, de la vida y en la vida. Los sucesos en la vida reflejan el ser interior. Reflejan el ser interior. Reflejan el ser interior.